Hi guys, it's Amy and you're with me today on Fabulous Friday. I'm really sorry that I couldn't get a video up last week. As you guys may know, I've been struggling a lot with depression. There's been a lot of things kind of happening and I guess my mechanisms of coping weren't that great. So last week was really tough and I didn't think I was in the right kind of state of mind to be able to put a video up on the internet, you know, and I just wasn't feeling myself and, you know, just didn't feel great. I just wanted to say thank you so much to Felicia for doing the Friday video for me. She did a fantastic job, as you guys probably have seen. This week we're going to be talking about dieting. There are so many different opinions on dieting, whether they're good or bad things. I'm just sorry, leaning against the wall. But we are going to be talking about, within the group this week, about the dieting industry, about the dangers of dieting and how to avoid being triggered by diets that can potentially perpetuate your eating disorder. A lot of people do feel that there is not a line or not a gap between dieting and eating disorder, although I do believe that there is such a thing as a healthy diet, in my opinion, and that is essentially what the word diet means. It is what you eat, you know, what your relationship with food. The whole idea of dieting to be thin, you know, I think the word diet is odd altogether. I think it can be taken by many people in completely different ways. Some people do naturally have a healthy diet and it's not because they're trying to lose weight, and some people do it the right way, but that's where the line draws between the diet and the eating disorder completely. But I'm going to kind of talk to you a couple of things about the dieting industry and how much of our time and energy we spend on the dieting industry, and should we not, you know, why are we doing this to ourselves when we know it's going to make us worse, etc, and just some reasons behind it. So I'm actually going to expand on Ariel's point about the statistics. I haven't been able to say that word all day. Statistics that Ariel came up with, because I actually made the same notes myself. Weirdly, I found the same statistics online about how the dieting industry takes in over $40 billion. Now in the UK, I'm not entirely sure what that is. I didn't manage to find any UK statistics. I still can't say that word. So I'm assuming it's like 20 billion or something, you know, pounds, but to be honest, I'm not very good with currency, so you'd have to ask a currency expert because I'm just terrible. But no matter how much you look at it, it's still in the billions category, and that's a hell of a lot. And I guess when I've been doing this research at home, it's really made me realise how much of our time and like how much money people actually do spend on these products. And I guess sometimes I don't really realise the products that are actually out there that harm us so badly, because you have all the dieting foods, you have all those diets such as the Atkins diet, like Weight Watchers, like I can't remember the rest of them, but my mum's been on, like I've spoken previously about my mum, how she's been quite triggering. She's probably been on diets ever since I've known her. She's basically done everything under the sun to lose weight, and now she's found something that works apparently. There's also books. My mum bought the Atkins diet when she was going through that period of time, cutting out carbohydrate. I don't know if you heard that, but that was a really loud plane coming over the top of my flat, and it was like, thanks for interrupting my video. The books, yeah, my mum bought the Atkins diet book when that was out. You got the drugs, you've got like the herbal remedy tablets that supposedly speed up weight loss, and the exercise DVDs and things like that all thrive off the same being for us to be perfect individuals and to help us lose weight. Now, I guess the more research, because I've never really done that much research into dieting, because I don't know why really. I guess I've never, in regard to sticking to like an Atkins diet or anything like that, I've never done that in particular. So, and obviously my mum does a lot of it, but I guess it was quite interesting to do a lot of this research, and I found something quite interesting. Like the dieting industry as a whole, it makes all of this money because they want us to fail, and that's hard to think of, because you think, you know, these businesses, why would a business want us to fail? But if you think about it, the reasons why the dieting industry makes all of their money is because of people that are supposedly failing from previous diets that they've tried. If these supposed herbal remedies and these tablets and the exercise DVDs and the way that if you consume this many calories a day, then you're going to drop 3,000 dress sizes or whatever, the complete exaggerations that they come up with, if that was really true, then the dieting industry would go out of business. And if all of this, what they are saying, claiming to be true, was true, then the dieting industry would go out of business. I think that's something that we have to think about, because it's true. How do you think they make all of their money? If it worked, like, they wouldn't be buying the product as much as they did. And it's almost like they want us to fail so they don't fail as an industry. And I guess I've come to a conclusion about how cruel the dieting industry actually is. It sets us unrealistic and unattainable goals. And to think that that we live in such a capitalist society where the idea that we can make people feel like absolute failures just to make money actually sickens me. And I guess it's really shocked me in a way doing this research, because it saddens me, and it saddens me that I live in this society where everything's about making money. You know, who cares if, you know, I'm going to make you feel like a failure so I get some money at the end of the day. You know, it's not fair. It's manipulation. It manipulates us into making us that everything will make us feel better. You see the advertisements in the magazines of the women smiling, and like, as a prime example, I flicked through a Cosmopolitan magazine. So I just wanted to find a few examples of how prominent these kinds of things are in magazines. And in Cosmopolitan, this was the June 2011 issue of Cosmo in the UK, and at the back they have like all of these kind of okay, I'm not going to read that one out because that's a bit gross, but this one for an example. But this, you know, the scientifically proven all natural slimming aid that helps you eat less and lose weight with ease, etc, etc, etc. And I was shocked. Because I never really read the advertisements in the back of these magazines. I tend to read what's there, and to know that the dieting industry, you know, makes its room in magazines like these, which are normally quite positive, quite happy. You know, who is this? This is Michelle from Glee. She doesn't look overly thin, but she looks happy in herself, she looks confident in herself, and I think a lot of the magazines teach a lot about self-confidence and how we should all be confident with ourselves no matter what, and then they go to the back and they promote all these kind of herbal remedies, slimming things, and it kind of totally contradicts, you know, it's almost like the dieting industry always has to find a way to get in to your brain even when you're trying not to. It gives them all these different messages. And I guess this is where media plays a part. I personally do not think that the media plays a higher than 50% kind of part in the role, like in the development, development, I was meant to say, of eating disorders. I feel that the media has a influence on those who are already suffering, and my personal opinion is that they do not cause eating disorders, but they can kind of like perpetuate somebody further, or they can kind of be a source of obviously inspiration, and you get all of that kind of other stuff which I'm going to shove in a box and throw away right now. But you know, another thing that I wanted to say actually was about like some of the diets that we are being made to go on. You know, my mum, as I've previously mentioned, goes on a lot of diets, and she has previously been on the Atkins diet, which basically means that you cut out all carbohydrates from your diet. Now, I don't know, you know, I'm not a scientist, I'm not some magical person who knows everything about kind of the human body and what it needs, but I do know, even with my eating disorder, that what the human body does need, and I do know that I cannot function properly without all the right kinds of, you know, carbohydrates, protein, the fat, even though, you know, it's not the best thing in the world, a tiny little bit of fat in the diet, fibre, you know, vitamins and minerals. I know that without one of these food groups I don't function properly, and Atkins basically encourages you to eliminate all forms of carbohydrate in your diet, and there's another diet that eliminates protein and eliminates this and eliminates that. And I think it's really messed with my mum's head. It's made her think that she can't eat certain foods. So now the foods that we eat in our house are not good for me because they're all Weight Watchers stuff, and whenever we get made food in our house it's all like low calorie, low fat, and I never get my essential nutrients that I need. And that's why the diets are so dangerous, because you are not, even though, yes, whatever, maybe the Atkins diet could produce some, you know, amazing results, but does that mean you're happy? No, it doesn't, because you need everything in you. You need all your carbohydrates, your proteins, your vitamins and minerals. Otherwise, why would they be there? They're there to make you the best person that you can be. Is it really, really worth losing a few pounds over your happiness? And I guess I've come to terms with that recently, to say, no, actually, I deserve more than striving myself to be something that I'm never going to be, striving myself to be perfect, which full well is not even true. The idea of perfection, I've only just come to terms with the idea that perfection doesn't exist, and I don't think it's worth sacrificing my happiness over some, you know, media influence telling me how I can be happy. No, I can make my own happiness, and it's not through your poxy kind of mechanism how I should live my life. I will live my life how I want to. You know, I sound like a dictator or something, but you know, it's unhealthy. You know, people have, obviously there are people who will contradict like what I'm saying, and they say, oh, but the Atkins diet's really good, and like, you know, so and so has lost so many pounds. Yes, but are they really content with that? Thank all of you guys for your amazing support as per usual. I don't know what I'd do without you girls. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week's video. I hope it made a little bit of sense. And see you guys next Friday. Bye!